Behind the Shades.
Julie DeLucca-Collins. I am a business and life strategy coach, authority mentor, TEDx speaker. That's my new title. Author and podcaster of the Casa de Confidence podcast. You can find me on all the platforms, social media platforms at Julie DeLucca-Collins. But my website is Go Confidently Services. And that's what I help individuals to create the confidence to live the life they have imagined and to grow in their business or create the type of mindset that allows them to live life to the fullest with the freedom and just everyday excitement that makes you happy to know where you are.
So I guess my first question for you is when you mentioned building confidence, how does that look for each and every person? Because I know maybe for me, it's a little bit different than it will look for you. So how do we build confidence to look like the way that we want it to look that will benefit our life?
One of the biggest misconceptions that we have about confidence is that confidence is that feeling we get or that we're born with. But I want to question that form of thought. And I want to encourage your listeners to kind of start to notice that there is always going to be areas in our life in which we're not confident. We are humans, and there's so many things that we are beginners, that we're not experienced at doing. And of course, when we're going to try something new, we're going to lack the level of confidence that somebody else that's been at it for a long time may have. So that is the first thing that I want to encourage your listeners, because when we think and compare, like, oh my gosh, look how great that show is, right? And I love what they're doing, and I look at my show and I'm like, oh, I could never do that, right? Then we bring ourselves down. Our brain is programmed to keep us safe. And when things are new, then we immediately are going to start to qualify them. We're immediately going to go into this space where we are thinking, we're not enough. We can never do it, or I will never be that good. So the first thing that we need to do is just kind of bring awareness and know and normalize that it's okay to be a beginner. For instance, when you started riding your bike, did you know how to ride your bike immediately? You probably needed training wheels, right? And you needed to keep trying. And that's the same thing with everything. And the more you try to do the thing that you're not sure about, the more that you're going to start to build your confidence. And that's a little bit of what I help my clients with, is creating the daily action, creating the habits, creating the momentum, or even that first step to start to find the evidence that they can do the things that will help them be more confident.
That bicycle analogy is so spot on. I remember when I was learning to ride a bike, I must have fell off that bike a dozen times. Good Lord. And I just couldn't figure it out. And this actually, we can expand on that, is I knew how to pedal. It was the balance, right?
Yeah,
And in our
absolutely.
life, that's what it is, right? Sometimes we are pulled in so many different directions. We become unbalanced, imbalanced.
Mhm.
And one thing that I want to share this year is I made it a point to take a step away. Either it's a
Mm,
road trip, either it's a vacation somewhere else. I know that you and I were talking where it's
yeah.
just, I need a break from everything, not from showering, of course,
Yes.
but just a break from everything. And then I figure it out. Hey, this is kind of fun. I was discovering things that I didn't realize that I enjoyed. So when you're dealing with your clients and you're helping them build their confidence and how you're breaking the misconceptions.
Mm.
When you work with them, do you find out that they find confidence in things that maybe before they started working with you, they had no idea that they enjoyed?
One of the things that I see with a lot of individuals is that there are two camps. There's the camp that this is what my life should look like, and this is the life I'm living. And for many individuals, we should ourselves and we say, I should be doing this. I should have that success, or I should get the new promotion, or I should be a better parent. I should be a better business owner. And every time we're living in the should and we're not living in the now, we're robbing ourselves of the gifts that we have every day. And for many of my clients, yes, there is a place where they want to be. They want to be maybe more successful entrepreneurs. They want to be speakers. They want to launch a podcast. So many different things out there, right? But what I remind them is that the skills and the gifts that they have today that they're taking for granted are the gifts that are going to help them propel to the next level, and that they really have to celebrate what they have now in order to get to the next level. Because that sometimes is something that we forget about. And for many individuals, we think we don't measure up. We think we need to be somebody else. But when we're trying to achieve the thing that somebody else has, we're also trying to be that person. And we're never going to hit that mark. We're never going to hit it, because we are us. I'm Julie. If, for instance, if I'm trying to be the Mel Robbins, I'm never going to be a Mel Robbins. I'm going to be Julie. So how I show up in the world, I may have some similar beliefs. I may have some aligned perspective and values with Mel, and I love her. But every time that I think I'm going to be a Mel Robbins, I'm going to suffer, and I'm not going to move further in my path. I'm not going to achieve the things that I want. So as soon as we become more aware, hey, let me see what Julie can do. What are the gifts that Julie has? And begin to expand and build on those gifts and celebrate those and grow in those gifts, then I can get to where I want to be and make the impact that I want.
How difficult is it for people in general to distinguish between who they can be and not comparing themselves to others?
I think that it depends on the level of support that you have and the level of awareness. We hear awareness all the time. We hear, oh, we have to be aware, but there is a level of us that doesn't want to be aware. There's a level also that it's saying, hey, this is the pinnacle. This is what we should reach for. But we never realize that what got somebody there may not be what gets us there, because they're leveraging their gifts. They're leveraging their community. The other thing too that hinders our progress is, who do we surround ourselves with? I think, for many of us, especially in the entrepreneur world, we tell our friends and family, hey, I'm doing this, I'm launching my business, or I'm starting a podcast. And they're going to be like, oh, that's nice. Right. Whereas if I go to a group of podcasters and entrepreneurs and I say, hey, I'm launching a show, this is what I'm doing with my business, they're going to be like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's so great. And guess who's going to give me the support and accountability that is needed, right? Those people that get it. And a lot of times we spend a lot of time with individuals who we love, who they care about us, but may not necessarily have caught the vision of what we want or have done the thing that we want to do. So it's difficult for us to move forward.